Namo Narayan. So, welcome to our channel. Today, we are going to talk about Moon planet, which is also a crucial planet in our life. So, let's first of all understand this topic because obviously, today I'm not going to talk about Moon in all houses or Moon with other planets or the conjunction with other planets. No, not at all. I want you something else and something new to explore about moon and first of all change your mindset. So whenever we open the scriptures, one thing is very clearly written that every happiness, every sorrow, every opportunity and every test in life is already arranged by our planets and houses. This is not blind belief. This is a divine rule which our rishis have already explained in the Vedas, our Puranas, and through Jyotish Shastra. You must have wondered that sometimes in astrology we have a principle that if you want to know any solution for any cause or any time period, that when will that cause or loss will end in your life, then we see planetary periods, planetary transits, your Vimashotri dashas. So these kind of system is only made so that you can understand your problems and you can know by yourself that when are they going to end or when your happiness or your money flow will start. So all this is already written in your birth chart. Whether we see it from Vimashotri dashas, whether we see it from our planets, our houses, our nakshatras, either the ways, this astrology is just only made for you. But sticking to only houses or to only zodiacs is not very much appropriate. So, the biggest thing is that people usually consider the moon as an ordinary planet. I saw some people saying that it changes every month, it increases and decreases daily, it is unstable, it represents the mind. That's it, nothing more. But I do not agree with this. Because if you read the scriptures, you will find that in astrology, the most important planet that is observed is the moon. Tell me one thing, your birth sign is always counted from the moon sign. Your birth nakshatra is always decided from moon's nakshatra. Even the dashas, the planetary periods, which mean the upcoming time of period of your life, are also based on the position of moon and the nakshatra of the moon. So that is why calling the moon an ordinary planet is the biggest mistake here. People will focus on Rahu, Ketu, Saturn, they will focus on Jupiter, Venus, because these planets gives you money, gives you fame, respect, and some gives you sorrow, grief, so much of pain, and so much of struggles. So you only focus on them, these five, six planets. But what about the other planets? And one of them is moon, and I think moon is the most degrading planet in this whole entire world as of now which I've seen. Nobody focuses on moon. Understand this thing clearly. Moon is your mind, your thinking, your emotions, and the mirror of your soul's experience. Now you see, and when the mind becomes unstable or stable, lives move in that direction only. So your mind needs to be unstable or stable. In this stability only, your life's future depends how you will move. Because decision making is also one of the skill which every person should have. Even if you're doing job, you're a salarized person, or a businessman. So your decision making matters a lot. And how do we see that decision making? How do you make decisions? Right decisions are only made when your mind is stable, and wrong decisions are mostly made when you are maybe depressed, anxious, or most popularly, you're unstable. So that all depends on moon. Moon is the integral part of astrology, and every planet carries equal importance in your birth chart, but you cannot decorate one planet to upheaval other planets just for yours money, your fame, or your struggles and losses. See, from the perspective of astrology, of a scriptural astrology, and in your horoscope, where the moon sits, from there your happiness, like sorrow, your thoughts, your journey, and even your destiny starts taking shape. But the scriptures have told one more deep secret, which I'm going to tell you today. And this is also our main topic for this video. The deep secret, which has been written in our scriptures, that the eighth house counted from the moon writes both your coming tests and coming opportunities. Understand this. Eighth house counted from moon because let's say your moon is placed in the first house, so the eighth house from your moon will be your eighth house itself. Similarly, if it is in second house, so your eighth house will be your ninth house. If it is in third house, so the eighth house will be your 10th house. So similarly, today's topic will be focused on this only. We have to count that where is your moon place first of all, and count eighth house from moon, and the house corresponding eighth from moon will tell your coming struggles, or you can say coming tests, coming exams of your life, and also some big opportunities. First, understand this. What is the logic behind this? Because you must be questioning that how or what is the relation between eighth house from moon. So, as I told you, mind is the reason of bondage and mind is the reason of liberation. Now think, when moon is in the mind, then why is the eighth house from it is considered so heavy and so hidden? Because the eighth house is not just difficulty, it is the next door of your life. From which house it comes, that tells which new challenge will come in your life tomorrow or maybe in future. And in that same challenge, which new golden opportunity is hidden for you. That is why I said in the beginning that the eighth house from moon decides both your tests and your opportunity from tomorrow. Every soul has to pass through the moment of test in life. This is one of our rule to live in this earth. That every time, even in smallest situations, you have to face some kind of tests. Whether you say in your education sector or in your family responsibilities, everywhere you will find a test daily. And when this test comes along with opportunity, it becomes the real turning point of life. Why and how it will become opportunity, that I will explain you one by one. That is why the house which becomes the eighth from the moon, that house shapes your coming time, and it gives chance, and also it gives exams. So let's begin today's most unique discussion. Keep your horoscope with you because you will be needed to count from your moon to 8th house. If you found any difficulty in finding the house which is 8th from moon, then you can just do one thing. You can put a comment section below that where is your moon placed, and just you need to tell this that in which house it is being placed, and then we will reply you with which house is 8th from your moon, which is placed in your birth chart. So let's begin today's topic. Now, when the 8th house from moon itself falls in the 8th house, this is a very interesting position, by the way. So, in this, it becomes a very deep and mysterious situation that brings big transformations, sudden events, and ups and downs in your life. And first of all, before moving ahead, don't really think that this will be actually related to your death or your age. Don't think about that, because if you're relating your disposition to your death or to your age group or something, how long you will live, then I'm telling you, don't see 8th house from the perspective of only age. See it as the house of big transformations, sudden events, and obviously there could be a knowledge of occult sciences as well. So listen to this carefully. Here, the real test of your future appears in the form of dealing again and again with what? With instability of life, with hidden worries and sudden problems. But the greatest specialty is that you have a deep ability to rise from any kind of situation. Let's say you fall in difficulty, but come out stronger. Your future often pulls you towards fields like, as I said, any kind of occult science, or if not, then knowledge, hidden subjects, research. Research could be any kind of research, spirituality, tax, insurance, or investigation could also be there. Like the archaeologists do, investigators do. So, whatever big changes you receive in life, they are the same changes that push you forward and build your identity. If malefic planet sits in this house like Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, then you may face accidents, you may face constant surgeries, or repeated mental stress as well. Sometimes problems come through your life partner, and sometimes certain financial loss also happens. But the same struggle makes you a knower of secrets, a deep researcher, and rich in inner experiences. Inner experiences. Understood? So, another thing is that if this house gets empty, means so 8th house is empty, no planet is occupied here, then it clearly means that your entire future depends on your what? Your deep understanding, your ability to accept the unknown. The more easily and naturally you accept the ups and downs of life, the more destiny supports you. Now, when the 8th house, the moon falls in the 9th house, so it means that the real test of your future is connected with your luck, with your spiritual duty, means your dharma, and guru, your spiritual teacher, any mentor you have. So often this struggle comes in the form of delayed luck, delayed destiny, you can say, or repeated obstacles on your path. Sometimes from your mentor, your guru, or father also becomes unstable, because this house is majorly related to your father as well. And sometimes the search for proper guidance takes a long period of time. But the specialty is that you have the power to change your life through your hard work, your spiritual perspective, and most importantly, your faith. Your faith, your hard work, and your spiritual perspective. These three things are the main key, and these three things are the specialty which you have born with. Your lucky time or your luck may come late in this position. It would be obviously unstable, but it arrives with a big turning point. Turning point can be anything, and at any moment it can come, where your karma and faith together take you to great heights. Now, if malefic planets like we have Saturn, we have Ketu, Rahu, these three, or any one of them even sits in this house, then confusion in dharma, confusion in distance from your guru, conflicts with father, and stress throughout life may appear in your life. And along with obstacles during journeys will also be there. But this same situation makes you spiritually deep. It makes you patient and focused on action. Now, if this house is empty, means no planet is placed here. So it clearly means that your future depends entirely on your faith, your true actions. Means as soon as your belief becomes strong and unshakable, luck suddenly starts supporting you from that utmost moment. Now, let's say when the 8th house from moon falls in the 10th house, so what happens? It means that the biggest test of your future, of your life, is connected with your actions, your karma, career, reputation in society, and so on. Often, this struggle comes in the form of working very hard. Means obviously you're very hard work, and even your planets know that you are very hardworking. But recognition may come late, or sudden changes keep happening in your job or business, and sometimes there's stress from your boss or higher authorities. If you're a salarized person, then from your boss, and if you're a businessman, then from higher authorities. And sometimes instability at the workplace tests you repeatedly. But the specialty is that the real rise in your life happens through your actions and dedication. This is the real rise. Even if it comes late, doesn't matter. You eventually gain respect, you eventually gain recognition, and a stable place in society. What else do you need? I totally agree with this that it will come very late. Because see one thing, this 10th house is of what? This is ruled by Saturn planet. So it doesn't matter that even if Saturn is not placed here, but still the 8th house from moon is relying on 10th house. Then there can be some delays, or you will be very much hardworking, but that kind of recognition may come very late. But you will gain, you will eventually gain respect, fame, name, money, everything, but eventually. Now, if let's say malefic planets like we have Saturn, Rahu, Ketu sits here, then there can be many ups and downs in your career. You may have to change jobs repeatedly and sometimes face public criticism. You may feel that the reward of your hard work is delayed many times, or it may come in difficult ways. But the same struggle makes you what? Makes you experienced, makes you hardworking. and adaptable to situations. Because every time, whatever struggles you have done, or whatever struggles we all people have done in our life, that either the ways makes us something learn out of it. If we are facing enemies, then we learn from them that how to defeat them, how to overcome on them. If you're facing any disease, then in that case also we see that how to be conscious about the health. If we face money crisis, then in that also we will be very stable and we will be very alert every time but how to spend it or how to earn it. So every time in each and every struggle we are learning. We're doing one thing and that is learning. So in this case also, by your struggles, you're getting experienced about that particular situation. You're getting more hardworking, and though you are hardworking, and most importantly, adaptable to situations. If now let's say this house is empty, then it clearly means that your entire future depends on your work and dedication. The more honesty, the more effort and patience you put into your work, the stronger and more stable your recognition in society will become. Now, when the 8th house from moon falls in the 11th house, so what does it mean? It straightforwardly means that the biggest test of your future is only connected with your gains, with your friendship, your friend circle, and fulfillment of your desires. Often, this struggle comes in the form of delayed gains, despite doing much hard work, many betrayals from your friends, or repeated obstacles in fulfilling your desires, your wishes. Sometimes it feels like everything slipped away even when it seemed within reach. Means you reached to 99% and 1%, that obstacle, that thing came to stop that work or stop to reach that desire of yourself, basically. So, the specialty, if we talk about it, this position is in your life, big gains often come through sudden opportunities and the company of right people. Means your real identity is shaped by your social circle and the art of networking. But if I'm saying that social circle and art of networking, then that doesn't mean that if you're doing any kind of friendship with anyone or even in your friend circle, everyone will be trusted. Because today, honesty in friendship is seen very less. If we talk about anyone, someone, the other person will have faced betrayal today in this Kali Yuga from their friends or from their social circle in any kind of way. So you have to be very mindful that whom to talk, whom to shape the real identity, and whom not to keep in your social circle, in your friend circle. So this is the basic art of networking. You have to understand the art, and similarly, you can shape a real identity of yourself. If we talk about malefic planets like Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, so if these three planets, any one of them, sits in this house, then they can be betrayal from friends. This is 101% possible. Bad company will be there, or repeated financial losses can be there. You may have big dreams, you may have big desires, but achieving them comes with delay and difficulties. But these challenges make you experienced, make you practical, and more alert about your goals. That is the most important thing. If this house is empty, means no planet is placed here, nothing is there, then it clearly means that your entire future depends on your right company and sincere efforts. As soon as you guide your desires, you guide yourself in the right direction, right path, then kings eventually and naturally starts coming towards you. Now, when the eighth house from moon falls in the last house of the birth chart, which is your 12th house. So it clearly means that the test of your future is connected with basically what? Expenses, foreign lands, sleep, on solitude, we can say, salvation, reparation, anything you can say. So your struggles often comes in the form of money slipping away as soon as it comes, restlessness in sleep, or the mind constantly getting drawn towards loneliness. And sometimes chances to go abroad also comes only after very difficulties and very much delays. It could be anything like your visa not passing, or maybe you're getting very difficulties, very much obstacles for settling beyond the country. But the specialty is that big opportunities in your future open only when you accept foreign connections, when you accept spiritual practices, and the feeling of sacrifice. As soon as you lighten your inner self, a new path starts opening for you, a new opportunity starts building for you. Now, if planets like Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, any one of them even sits in 12th house, then it becomes difficult to control expenses. For you, it becomes very difficult to handle repeated losses. Hospital or legal issues becomes an integral part of your life. And a deep inner restlessness or loneliness must be felt. At a times, you will be feeling very isolated or very depressed, very anxious. But the same struggle takes you towards depth of meditation. It takes you towards spirituality and self realization. If this house is empty, then it means that your entire future depends on your power of sacrifice and self control. The more you learn to leave unnecessary things, the more true happiness and opportunities comes into your life. When the eighth house from moon becomes your ascendant, your lagna, that is your first house, then the scripture says that your coming tests become directly connected with your personality and self confidence. Basically, it means your future depends on how strongly you stand in the difficult situations of your life. And here, the biggest struggle is related to most probably health issues, sometimes self doubt. I mean, a lack of trust in yourself, basically. And many times, the situation forces you to start again and again. But the special thing here is that no matter how many problems come in front of you, you finally move ahead and shine because your hard work and your unique identity is always there. Now, if Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, these malefic or Papa grahas are already placed in this house, then it takes time for your identity to be accepted. People do not recognize you quickly, and you have to work again and again, which means success comes late. But only through efforts, a lot of efforts. And if this house is empty, means no planet is placed there, then it clearly means that the real test of your life is not from any outer obstacle from yourself. The biggest test will be your willpower itself. This is your biggest strength too. And obviously, as I said, it will be a biggest exam for you. Now, let's talk about another house, which is second house. Means when the eighth house from moon becomes your house of wealth, that is the second house. Then, in this condition, our scripture says that your future gets directly connected with money, with your speech and family. This means, or we can relate to this, that the biggest test of your life depends on financial stability and harmony within the family. So many times it happens that no matter how much you earn, the savings do not stay at all for long, and ups and downs in money keeps happening in life. Along with this, sometimes disagreement or tension, depression within the family, the responsibilities can also be seen in this situation. But the biggest specialty here is that in future, your speech, your knowledge, and your way of speaking itself becomes the main tool of your progress. Note this down and mark my words somewhere. And if in case malefic planets like we have Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, if these three planets, any of these, sits in the second house, means the house which is eighth from moon is their second house, then the loan burden, big financial ups and downs, we could say, and most importantly, bitterness in the family can obviously increase. But if this house is empty, means no planet is placed there, then it directly shows that your voice and your behavior itself is your biggest wealth, and that will create your future opportunities. Now, when the eighth house from moon becomes your house of courage, that is your third house, then the scripture says that the biggest test of your future gets connected with your courage, with your continuous efforts, and the support of your siblings. In this situation, we can say that the common struggle is the result of your hard work comes very late, very much late. And you work a lot that even your planets know. No worries about that because your planets already know you work a lot. But the results do not come quickly. And sometimes distance from siblings or mental stress will be there because of them. You will get troubled also in some situations. The greatest specialty here, if we talk about, is that you are not someone who gives up easily. That is actually a really great opportunity in itself. Means you have the strength to fall again and rise again. And that is what gives you a different identity. If Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, these kind of Papa grahas sits in this house, then distance from siblings can come, or because of them, you may have to face sorrow in life. But if this house is empty, means no planet is being occupied in this house, then it clearly shows that your future depends only on your continuous efforts. If you keep working, then no power can stop you. Now, when the condition comes, the eighth house from moon becomes your house of mother and home, that is the fourth house. Then in this, the scripture says that your future gets directly connected with your family, with your property related matters, and most importantly, your mother, your mom. In these situations, struggles appear when you face obstacles in settling your own home. There are repeated delays in any kind of building property, if you're building any property for yourself, or you do not receive full emotional comfort from your mother. So we can say that there might be some disconnection from your mother, or if not any kind of disconnection, then your mother or her health will be mostly affected. If we talk about the biggest specialty here, so in the future you definitely create a safe and stable life through land, through house, any kind of house, vehicle also we can say, and most importantly permanent things, not temporary. And now if we talk about malefic planets like we have Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, if these three planets, any one of them even, occupies this house, then there can be unrest in the family, property disputes may trouble you, and there can also be constant concern about the health of mother, as I said before. So, regarding health of mother, there can be some consequences already there in this placement, even if planets like Saturn, Rahu, Ketu are not present in this house, but if they are present, then there would be at times there would be a biggest tension about your mother's health. Now, if this house is totally empty, means no planet is occupied here, then it clearly shows that your future depends on your inner peace and your ability to create a home that itself becomes your biggest treasure. Now, when the eighth house for moon becomes your fifth house, that is the house of intelligence, your children, your love affairs, most importantly, your creativity, how much creative you will be. So, then the scripture says that the biggest test of your future is connected with your mind, with your children whenever you will have them, and your love relationships. If you're married, then in married life you can say, and if not, then you can see from in your love affairs as well. In this situation, we can see that struggles often come in your ability to make decisions. Understand this carefully. Sometimes there are obstacles in education, and other times worries about children trouble your heart. Mental instability can also sometimes force you to make decisions that you regret later. But the special thing is that such people means you always create a kind of unique identity in life at some point, at some area, through your creativity, your art, your writing. Writing, I don't mean that handwriting, but maybe you will be passionate about writing motivational quotes, motivational stories, or poems, poetries, anything, or with some special skill. So, the real foundation of your future is how you use your intelligence and knowledge. If malefic planets like Saturn, Rahu, Ketu are already placed in this house, even any one of them is placed in this house, then they can be distance from children, there can be betrayals and repeated disappointments in love life. Means breakups will happen most probably, and obstacles in education would be there. which delays the fulfillment of your heart's desires. But this struggles deepens in your inner spiritual thinking and patience. If suppose this house is totally empty, means no planet is placed here, so then it clearly shows that your future depends entirely on your thinking and your learning ability. The clearer and more positive your thoughts are, the sooner new doors, new opportunities will open in your life. Now, let's say the eighth house from the moon becomes your sixth house. Then what happens? As you know, that this house is the house of challenges and enemies, diseases, deaths, and most probably struggles. So, in this case, our scripture says that your coming future is mostly connected with tests, especially related to health, debt, and enemies. This means that in your life, health related challenges appear repeatedly. Sometimes a debt burden comes on your shoulders, and sometimes you have to face competition or maybe fight enemies most of the times. The difficulty here we can see is that the mind remains mostly restless, mostly, and even small problems can feel like a bit tension for you. But the special thing here is that you have a unique ability to overcome your enemies. That is one good specialty in this condition we have found. In this case, the scripture says that later this struggle can turn into opportunities in areas like the medicine sector, healthcare, law, or service sectors. Administrative sectors can also be there. So, by this, we mean that the place that seems difficult can also become your path forward. Whatever sectors I have told you so far right now, these all are tested. And in the beginning, what did I said? That your coming future is mostly connected with tests. So obviously your field will also be related to tests only. And this usually happens with everyone, but your field will be specially and entirely based on exams, tests, preparations, and aspirations. Now, if malefic planets like Saturn, Rahu, Ketu sits in this house, then pressure from debt and legal issues increases. Obviously, health may slowly weaken and enemies can trouble you for a long period of time. But at the same time, these planets make you very disciplined and very strong from within. By the time, even if you face any healthcare or any health related issues, then even from that, you get disciplined and strong after defeating it. Even if you face your enemies or overcome your enemies, then that time also you will learn from it anything you can learn from your enemies. How did you overcome from them? And you became strong after that from within. So that is why this is the most important specialty in you. If this house is empty, means no planet is occupied here, then it simply means that your future depends entirely on your self control and hard work. If you avoid fear, if you avoid diseases and death wisely, then this becomes your strongest shield and clears the path of forward progress. Now, suppose the eighth house from moon becomes your seventh house. So, obviously, you must be knowing that this is the house of your relationships, your partnerships, your married life. Then, in this condition, the biggest test of your future is connected with your relationships and with your partnerships, whether it could be in your business or whether it could be in your any step of your life. And the real test in life is how faithfully and patiently you maintain your relationships with your life partner, with your business partner, and others as well. This is the only test. And in this situation, struggles often come in the form of feeling repeated betrayals or not getting full support from your partner, which creates a sense of insecurity in the mind. But the greatest specialty here is that your biggest successes in life also come through these relationships and partnerships only. You create your own identity through the art of connecting with people, joining with them, and maintaining relationships. This is the main key and also the main specialty. Now, if suppose malefic planets occupies this house, like Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, then there may be delays in marriage as obvious. Differences with your partner will be there, or legal disputes that affects life could be there. In such situations, bitterness in relationships can sometimes push you towards loneliness, isolation, but this struggle makes you mature, thoughtful, and practical, most importantly. If this house is empty, then it clearly means that your future depends entirely on ability to maintain relationships and choices you make in partnerships. The right match only opens the biggest door of your destiny. So, friends, now you have totally understood which house falls from the eighth from moon, why it records both the tests and opportunities of your coming future. So, by this is the place where the scriptures repeatedly gives us warnings. What kind of warnings? As I said, that how to control your money, how to control your diseases, because these kind of struggles may cause a big loss in your future. And obviously, these are tests of your life, but as well as inspirations, motivations, inspirations. It could be in any kind. What you understand today will open the door of your destiny tomorrow. Finally, I want to tell you this, that knowledge is meaningful only when it is shared. Understand this phrase very clearly. Now, in each house, as simultaneously I was telling for each house, in every house, you must have noticed that some on the other case or some on the other materialistic thing was being unstable. Whether we talk about 12th house, means the 8th from moon gets 12th house. So there, what is unstable? Your money is unstable. Similarly, in second house. If we see in 6th house, then your diseases might be unstable. And other perspectives of 6th house could also be unstable. If we see about 4th house, then there your property, your land, your own house, these kind of disputes will be there. So this is what? This is unstable. Your mother's health will not be very confident. You will not be very confident about your mother's health. So that is what? That is instability. So in each house, whether you talk about your career, your money, your enemies, everything is being unstable some on the other way. And that instability is the only test which has been taken just from your moon from 8th house. Understand this carefully. Now, as I said, knowledge is meaningful only when it is shared. So, share this video, share this knowledge with others through like, share, and subscribe. And I wish from my heart that may you all stay healthy, happy, and may your path always be filled with light. This is my heartfelt wish. Namo Narayan.